Why am I an artist?
I guess maybe because I like art, but more of relating to myself and how I feel about people, because I don't just draw people, any people I see. I must have feeling for that person, and that person must have something that inspire me to draw.
What are my paintings about? My paintings are usually an extension of my life. There's not much difference between what goes on in my life and what I show outside. It is mainly, I think, it is like cataloging my observations as I go through life. People are always interesting, but then what do people do? They must be doing something. They must be visiting a temple or cleaning their clothes or cooking or talking to somebody. So I try and tell stories by putting people in contexts where they're doing something or where there's a story emerging.
I did a lot of portrait of people. I find that the people with different background, different expression, different feelings, emotion, they do inspire me in my work. Actually, I'm very interested in drawing old people because their face, a lot of wrinkles, a lot of, to me, it's texture, and especially under strong light source, it's very good lighting for a piece of portrait work.
Sometimes there's a use of metaphors and analogies. I play with scale so that a person's face can be much bigger than maybe an elephant.
I like to do them in one tone, one color. Color might distract what I want to express about themselves.
It's very strong. And I like representing parts of the person's body because I feel like a body is like a river. You know, you start off with the head and you come all the way down into the feet, and then you have the hands.
I think the face is the most important part of a person because the eyes expression especially and the facial expression tells you a lot about the person, the personality and the experience that the person have gone through.
I've taken millions of photographs because there's too much visual and physical noise. So it's only when I come back and I look at all the pictures do I start putting things together. Because don't forget that each picture is a picture of somebody that I met, and I was actually there.
I like to observe people from a distance, and because that's where they show the true colors. And of course, there are times where a certain group of people that I feel comfortable with, I'll interact with them or talk with them, then that will give me greater inspiration for my work.
I think a place like Singapore, because earlier, let's say about 10 years ago, it had a reputation of being quite strict and everybody had to be careful what they said and all of that. It's opening up now because it's maturing. It's just like the age of a person, you know, when Singapore is 15 years old, you're confused, you're vulnerable, you're like a teenager, then you become 20, then you go through your 20s. Now Singapore is going through its 30s. It's literally like a person. So at that age, you're more mature and you're confident and you open up as a person. So as a country, it's opening up. And all the art or all the expression that was repressed while Singapore was a teenager is now coming through, it's bursting through.
We have constraints to a certain extent as we don't have much natural scenery where we can go outdoor and do our painting. Space constraint. And most of us are staying with our family. It's kind of strange where you rent a room, you know, staying outside. People are taught that you have quarreled with your family.
You can travel to Vietnam and Burma and Indonesia, and there's so many places nearby that I can just go by train or by plane, and it's very cheap. So as an artist, it's constantly feeding me, which I think a lot of people find surprising because they think Singapore is so boring. But I think art is not about what's outside, it's about what's inside. And Singapore helps me do that.